art is nothing without these 7 elements of art. Now, we will discuss these elements of art one by one.
Welcome back to another episode of Art Education. Today's topic is Elements of Art. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you may click the subscribe button and notifications bell. Also, like and follow us on Facebook. Today, we will discuss the 7 elements of art. What are the 7 elements of art? We have lines, shape, form, space, texture, value, and color. Elements of art are stylistic features that are included within an art piece to help the artist communicate. The 7 most common elements include line, shape, texture, form, space, color, and value, with the additions of mark making and materiality. Number 1. Lines. Lines can be static or dynamic depending on how the artist chooses to use them. They help determine the motion, direction, and energy in a work of art.
Now, there are types of lines. We have vertical lines, we have the horizontal line, we have the diagonal line, we have the swirly line, and the curved line. Now, check out this painting, okay? Each line na nabanggit ko, vertical, horizontal, or swirly, etc., lahat ay makikita nyo dito. So, that is the basic na ginagamit sa drawing. Another one, here is another example of my line art. Check this out. This is my sketches or sample drawing of my anime that I made.
Number 2, we have shape. Shapes are formed by line. Shapes have only height and width. Therefore, shapes are always flat, 2-dimensional.
Most geometric shapes can be seen around us. They are in the form of a cup or canvas, frame, or it might be this face mask or like this. Okay?
There are 2 types of shapes. 1. Geometric shapes. They appear frequently in man-made objects. These shapes can be made using a geometry set. We have next one, the organic shapes. Appear most often in nature. Here's one example of geometric shapes. This is a Mobile Suit Gundam.
The organic shapes can be seen in nature. They are in the form of leaves, a tree, a rock, or a pebble, might be a corals, fishes, and there are many more, as long as you can find it in nature.
We have number 3, form. Form is sometimes used to describe a shape that has an implied third dimension. In other words, an artist may try to make parts of a flat image appear 3-dimensional, just like in the picture on your screen. Here's some example of form. We have number 4, space. Space is the empty area surrounding or between real or implied objects. Humans categorize space. There is outer space, that limitless void we enter beyond our sky. We have inner space, which resides in people's minds and imaginations, and personal space, the important but intangible area that surrounds each individual and which is violated if someone else gets too close. Here are the examples of drawing with a space. Mostly we call it negative space.
What is the advantage of having space or negative space, kung tawagin namin mga artists, sa isang painting or drawing is because para ma-highlight yung subject or para mapunta ang focus ng viewer doon. Check this out. I have my painting. You can see some negative spaces. The highlight is on subject and secondary to the text. Okay?
We have number 5, texture. At the most basic level, three-dimensional works of art, sculpture, pottery, textiles, metalwork, etc. Two-dimensional works of art like paintings, drawings, and prints may try to show implied texture through the use of lines, colors, or other ways. When a painting has a lot of actual texture from the application of thick paint, we call that impasto.
What is impasto painting? According to my research, impasto is a technique used in painting where paint is laid on an area of the surface in very thick layers, usually thick enough that the brush or painting knife strokes are visible. Paint can be also mixed right on the canvas. When dry, impasto provides texture. The paint appears to be coming out of the canvas. Okay, pwede rin pandagdag ng texture, yung tinatawag natin na plaster of Paris. Another technique in texturized painting is ito yung tinatawag natin na mixed media art. Check this painting. The one on your left, that is texturized painting. That is yan ang ginamitan ng plaster of Paris, then latex paint, then the paint. Then, on the other side, yan ang tinatawag natin na mixed media art. Gumamit siya ng mga wood, mga anong mga available na pwedeng gawing art. Can be leaves or mga sanga ng puno. Okay, to make the output or to make a mixed media painting. Another mixed media painting, here's some example of the painting that is made by my professor way back in AUP. Okay, he's my professor in fine arts. This is the work of Sir Ruben Pagaduan. Okay, sir, shout out sa iyo and congratulations to your new achievement.
Number 6, value. Value or tone is the relative lightness or darkness of a shape in relation to another. The value scale bounded on one end by pure white and on the other by black, and in between a series of progressive darker shades of gray gives an artist the tools to make these transformations. Here's some examples of drawing with a value from lightness to darkness and from darkness to lightness. Here are the colored version of value. We have the last one, the color. Color is the most complex artistic elements because of the combinations and variations inherent in its use. Humans respond to color combinations differently, and artists study and use color in part to give desired direction to their work.
And what is the most important in drawing, painting, is the colors. Okay, the most important in elements of art. Or let's say, one of the most important in elements of art. Okay, here is my example. These are the paintings by the students, by the college students, way back in 2009, I think, or 2010. This is AUP Meta Art. Another one, these are my artworks that are digital artworks, and some are digital. If you learn something in this video, try to answer these following questions. Remember, be honest when you check your answer. Now, let me test you if you learned something. Instructions: just bring out 1/4 sheet of paper and numbers it from 1 up to 10. I'll give the answers on the comment section. Be honest in checking of your work. This is just optional for teachers and students. Number 1. These are formed by line. Shapes have only height and width. Therefore, shapes are always flat, two-dimensional. Number 2, the most complex artistic element because of the combinations and variations inherent in its use. Number 3, the relative lightness or darkness of a shape in relation to another. Number 4, the empty area surrounding or between real or implied objects. Number 5, can be static or dynamic depending on how the artist chooses to use them. Then, 6 up to 10. Give 5 types of lines. You may now begin.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and bell for notifications. And also, like us on Facebook, The Hobbyist Artist.